As is well known, the CPS has totally disregarded the horrific assault on police officers at Manchester Airport. Up until today, there has been nothing but stillness. Nigel Farage has made a significant announcement about it, which we will watch in today's video. In addition, we will review all of the most recent news from throughout the nation. However, before we do that, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join our rapidly expanding community. Just a quick one to say, we have new Stuck Farmer t-shirts available on our store. Go grab them now, they are available at British.com or check the link in the description. So as stated in the intro, the appalling attack on police officers at Manchester Airport has been completely ignored by the CPS. This what Farage has said on the matter. The Southport riots led to immediate arrests and in some cases imprisonment, not just for those that threw bricks but for those who said things online. Yet the appalling attack on police officers at Manchester Airport has been completely ignored. We think as Reform UK this is as clearer illustration of two-tier policing, two-tier justice in two tiers Britain as you could possibly see. And we promised a few weeks ago that if the Crown Prosecution Service did not lay some charges against these men who, remember, even broke the nose of a women's police officer, that we would take out a private prosecution. And Richard Tyan, my deputy leader, has news. So let's remind ourselves, this assault took place on the 23rd of July. Here we are in the second half of November, no news whatsoever. And when we announced that we were going to do this private criminal prosecution, we thought we might hear from somebody. Absolute silence, zip, nothing at all. So, the firm that we have instructed is TMI Limited. They are the largest private prosecutor in the country. They have over 1,000 successful prosecutions, and they are going to write today to the Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police, and also to the Crown Prosecution Service with their requirements, with the evidence, with the requirements to conduct witness statements and much more in order to commence this prosecution. We said we'd do it. We wait to hear. We've heard nothing, so we're left with no alternative. Yeah, we will not live in a two-tier country, absolutely not. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. In other news, farmer Gareth Y. Jones has fumed at Labour for dropping the biggest bombshell ever and warned a huge problem could be on the horizon for Britain. Starmer has also been criticised for avoiding protesters at the Welsh Labour conference by sneaking out the back rather than facing farmers who are angry about inheritance tax changes. Hundreds of farmers with tractors rallied outside the Landau Conference Centre to express their displeasure with the modifications made to Rachel Reeves's first budget. Farmer Gareth Wyn Jones informed the media that they wouldn't have imposed this inheritance tax on small family farms if they understood the value of agriculture, farming, and food production. During the NFU convention in February, Starmer rose and explained to everyone how he planned to safeguard family farms. When the first budget is released, he drops the biggest bombshell ever. We should challenge him on Saturday at the Welsh Labour conference, where he was present. Hundreds of farmers, including myself, waited outside for him to come and address and talk to us about our frustrations, but instead of doing so, he snuck out the back. I'm telling you something. Rather than solving the problems he faces in this country, he's spending more time on planes all over the world. Food shortages are the biggest concern for us farmers, as we are concerned about our ability to afford to feed the underprivileged in society, and that will be an issue despite the protests. At the conference, Starmer defended his stance, stating that he would stand up for the difficult choices that would be required to stabilize our economy. He maintained that the budget measures were required in order to confront the harsh reality of the budgetary situation. Treasury data indicates that approximately 3/4 of farmers will not pay inheritance tax under the new regulations. However, farmers have contested these figures, pointing to data from the Department of Environment, Food, and Rural Affairs that shows 66% of farm businesses are valued above the £1 million threshold. Experts caution that the new regulations will result in an unfair disparity with the private sector. While public sector pensions are exempt, worker pension inheritances are subject to a percentage tax penalty. Wealth manager Quilter's Ian Cook said that dependent partners may suffer greatly as a result of the changes. The Taxpayers Alliance denounced the increasing inequity, claiming that private sector employees are tired of footing the tab for public sector pensions that have been gold-plated. Approximately 500 claims annually will be impacted, and farm-owning couples can pass on up to $3 million without paying any inheritance tax, according to a government spokesperson. This is a fair and balanced approach, given that public services are collapsing, a £22 billion fiscal hole left over from the previous administration, and 40% of agricultural property relief goes to the 7% of wealthiest claimants. Finally, in a recent interview, Prince Harry spoke family reconciliation while the Duke of Sussex was photographed in Canada attending the 2024 Grey Cup Festival. Harry 40 talked on the Vancouver sidelines prior to the Toronto Argonauts vs Winnipeg Blue Bombers game. When the Duke of Sussex was in Vancouver to promote the Invictus Games, which will be held in the city and Whistler from February 8 to February 16 of next year, he was accompanied by a competitor. On Sunday, Harry informed TSN that this year marks our 10th anniversary, which is quite amazing. The Invictus movement began in 2014 and is a sporting platform that helps veterans and wounded service members. It has grown to 25 nations and is a true chance for people and their families to recover and recover. Earlier this year, the Duke of Sussex commemorated the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Games, which are competitions in which sick, injured, and wounded military personnel compete in a variety of sports. Were established in 2014, and the most recent games were played in Germany last year. The Duke of Sussex's appearance at the Grey Cup Festival precedes the release of his documentary on professional polo on Netflix in December. Boardwalk Pictures and Arkell Productions, the production company Harry co-founded with his wife Meghan Markle, reported in April that the documentary series, which explores the world of professional polo, was primarily filmed during the U.S. Open Polo Championship, where Harry played alongside professional polo player and close friend Ignacio Nacho Figueres. For more British stuff, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and goodbye.